Why do you sit behind a desk?
Why do I sit behind a desk?
Yeah, I never get that.
It's a power move.
This guy's horrible. Don't listen to a word he has to say.
Delete and block, delete and block. 1 second.
Hell no.
Top CDC official, the director of the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, said this week it was inevitable and that disruption to everyday life may be severe. So you can either believe that expert, a doctor and scientist who's received numerous awards and worked in public health for decades, or you can believe this expert.
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, you know, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
What? What are you talking about? It'll go away when it gets warmer? We're talking about a possible pandemic, not winter skin. Cable news reacted with shock at Bernie's success in Nevada. For example, his results were coming in, and it was clear that young voters and people of color were going overwhelmingly for Sanders. One anchor at a caucus site audibly sighed as she reported the results.
Largely people of color, of those, the majority are Latino, and they are clearly, at least from eyeballing it, strongly in favor of Bernie Sanders, with Joe Biden coming in second.
Oh my God, with the sigh. She's reporting on Bernie winning a caucus site the way you tell your parents why your dip boyfriend got fired from his job. He was using the copier, and, well, from eyeballing it, it looks like he photocopied his ass and put it up in the break room. One thing that I was very impressed with is we drew song titles that we did not see in advance, and then we're told to give 5 minutes to write a song. You guys wrote a very good song in 5 minutes. It was disheartening.
Really scandalous.
I will say it's the most beautiful song I've ever heard that has a line about 69ing.
Yeah. I think we're going to lean into the comedy of the show.
Yeah, I think it's about time,
Yeah,
right?
I think we're really going to...
Yeah, because I will say, and I don't want to be critical of it, very few laughs in the first season. Yeah.
And we've taken that note, we understand that,
Yeah.
and we're going to lean into the comedy of it.
I feel like that's what we're missing, is like we would love to see the blooper reel from Handmaids. I feel like. Just with a lot of terrible sound effects, like whack, whack.
You said that my show gave you a new way to think about a part of your body.
I think about
the
my penis differently, yeah.
Yes.
And you describe it as the most feminine.
Yes, it's a feminine object. At very least, it's all the stereotypes that are applied to women are something that you could apply to the penis. You know, the classic ones. The sort of, oh, they're so sensitive, they're needy, they nag you, they poke you in the night. Hello, are you awake? I'm awake.
Are you lonely? Looking to meet someone new? Then call the Charlie Brown Adults Only hotline now to make a very special friend.
So, what are you wearing? Good grief.
You had a job at a very highly revered website.
It was revered.
Was it revered at the time? I don't remember it well, but it was suck.com.
Yeah. And when you say it like that, you make it sound dirty. The website's gone, by the way. It's vanished. You can't get it anymore. But it was suck for like this sucks, not for whatever you thought.
What do you think I thought it was?
I don't know, but it seemed like you were judging.
I love talking to people, especially from my era, and their failed sketches. You had one with Snoop.
It's 20 years later, I see Snoop, and he's like, Finesse, why they didn't do the You Pimped This? Donald Trump had come on the show the week before we did this big apprentice sketch.
Yeah.
So Snoop comes on the week after, and he has this grand idea to do the You Pimped This. And instead of saying you're fired, I'll just smack a chick and say you're tired. And I was like, yeah, Snoop, I don't think NBC gonna let you smack anybody.
What was it like? What was it like working with them?
Oh, it's unbelievable, because my daughter was 8 at the time, and it was in the day in the last century when it was answer machines before mobile phones and the internet. There was a little red bleeping sign, and she pressed the button when she came home from school and said, "We're offered you the Spice World's manager in Spice World the movie." And she went absolutely ballistic. And she said, "Dad, you've got to do it. Dad, you've got to do it." So I did. And I had playground status for the next 2 terms. I was a god.
I just want to take a moment to just celebrate the simple fact of being on television.